Hi everybody, today we're going to go over our 7-step restaurant employee training guide. I'll put some timeline notes in the comments. Get a pen and a paper because we're starting right now. Training is a commitment. It is time, it is money, it is energy. Anyone that's had any business success over a long-term period of time has become or is a very good trainer and has very good training systems in place. The definition of a manager could be that their job is to generate sales by creating a consistent positive result. So that positive result are all the little nuanced systems, protocols, and activities that happen in a restaurant. And these all live and are born in the training program. So step 1, you need good training materials. Just like you need a map or Waze to get to the location that you need to get to, you need to have good training materials. And basically this is comprised of an employee training guide. A good employee training guide has 4 essential pieces inside it. It has SOPs and systems. It also sets an expectation of the desired result at the end. It has a syllabus or a path that sort of lays out what the training will look like. You're going to learn this in a certain order, generally done by day. So if the server training or the bartender training or the busboy training, you determine how many days it is and what they should learn every single day. It needs a trainer accountability sheet or a TAS. This sheet is basically a checklist. What was supposed to be learned on day 1 is covered, and you know that's what's assigned to do, and the trainer and the trainee sort of get over together and they make this happen. Usually some sort of product guide, menu guide, recipe guide if you're training cooking staff, some sort of fundamental product guide if you're doing the front of the house staff. That's usually inside there as well. You need good trainers. How many times has someone trained with someone who should never train anyone ever? Just because they're a great server / bartender / busboy doesn't mean they're a great trainer. You've got to select the right person. They need to be obviously a model employee. If you were going to replicate or clone somebody, that's the person that should be training the people that you have. They need to understand how to train, the TAS system and sort of the whole thing you've built. And when you're selecting a trainer, I want you to remember the declining law of training. If the trainer is a B or a C, you cannot expect them to produce a B or an A employee. It just won't happen. Now to the heart of the process, step number 3. This is the explain/tell step. So when the trainee is there and the trainer arrives, before anything else is, they should explain what's going to happen, what they're going to learn that day, and explain the process. So if that is waiting tables, that may mean all the processes getting ready and prepared, meaning checking in with the manager, checking on the specials are going to pre-shift, setting up their station, talking to the host, making sure all that is right. And this is all an explanation. If you've got the right training materials, again, you're going to be able to indicate it. But you're explaining all these things so the trainee is perfectly ready and open to learning what's happening. This is the show part of the training. The trainer is going to show the person they're training how to do these things in reality. So that means that the trainee is a shadow. They're on their hip. They're following the trainer around and watching how they navigate through the shift and how they accomplish the tasks that are set for today. Whatever they're supposed to learn, if today they're supposed to learn the steps of service, then they're going to watch the server do the steps of service. It is critical they are supposed to stay together, because not only is the trainee learning about these specific processes of the day and like what's supposed to happen, but they're also learning how to handle the shift on a real life basis. Like what does the server, the trainer do when they get under duress, when it gets a little bit busy, when circumstances arise? They're learning all this stuff by modeling. They're directly learning the things they're supposed to learn, and they're also indirectly learning to get through the shift and be successful. Step number 5. This is when the trainee actually does the stuff. They actually do what they're supposed to do. The trainer will watch them, kind of reverse roles, and let the trainee do the process. It's not going to be perfect. Hopefully it's good, but the trainer's job is to stay nearby, never leave, and to watch and then give them feedback. Do it, and in the process of doing it, they will learn what not to do, and they'll start to get a level of comfort. Step number 6. This is review and evaluate. When the shift is over, the trainer and the trainee should sit down together. They should take out that TAS sheet and they should review it. And it should sound like the trainer asking the trainee, hey, did we go over this today? Do you have any questions on this step? Did you go over this today? Do you have any questions on that step? And if there are questions, they answer those questions. It's a small checklist of all those things. And it doesn't mean these things are all going to happen. They will not all happen. But if something gets missed, you can always make a note of it. And the next person that trains, they will have this very same sheet. And they can pick up where you left off or where the trainer left off and follow the process along. The best way I've seen it work is when the trainer is empowered to evaluate the trainee and talk about it with the manager. If day one, you've hired someone, they've had their first day of training, and they are really, really challenged, or there have been some telltale signs that they're not going to make it or be successful. They're out of uniform. There's some sort of attitude or problem. They don't seem to be picking up the material, or they're resistant to doing it. They don't follow directions. Any number of these signs, your trainer is going to know. They're going to be able to give you feedback. And as a manager, you should be grateful for that feedback. If you're getting these signs early and it's just not going to pan out, they're not a good fit for you, then the most cost-effective and the best thing for your operation is to cut them loose. How many times has someone gone all the way through training, gotten out onto the floor, into the kitchen or wherever, and they are problematic and they just don't succeed? And the reason they don't succeed is because they probably shouldn't have gotten that far through the process in the first place. Lastly, step number 7, and that is set them up for success. And this really takes place as soon as the official training is over. And what it means is put them in a situation where they can start a little bit small and grow into the spot, and where they still get a little bit of supervision. One of the best methods that you're ever going to find is if you sort of develop a mentor system, and that is either the trainer is their mentor and they're sort of assigned to each other, and they still check in with each other after the official training is over on a weekly basis or whenever you decide, to make sure that that the new employee is progressing properly. It also means if they're a server, put them on a station that is a little bit smaller to start, and make sure that there are good people around them so they'll succeed. Same thing in the kitchen, same thing in the dish station. Surround them with people that are going to help them succeed so they can have the wins in the beginning, and then they're going to grow through the process. So those are the 7 steps to a training process. There's a lot of detail inside that. If you have questions specifically, obviously feel free to leave me some comments down below. Drop me a line and I will see if I can get the information to you. Now, if you stayed this long in the video, there's a bonus piece, and the bonus piece is how to keep them around and keep this training going. And one of the best steps that you can ever take is sort of an ongoing training program. And the way this program would work is like this. Once a month or once a quarter, you have a little quiz that you give. You tell everybody what you're going to talk about, some of the steps that you feel like may be lacking. You're reviewing the steps of service, or you're bringing in some new information, or you tie it to a new menu item. But you're keeping up on that process by having a little bit of ongoing training that is like on a quarterly basis. It doesn't have to be over the top. It's also not a bad idea to have to create opportunities for people to be trainers or shift leaders, however that system works in your restaurant. You want people to move up in the ladder, even if they just want to stay as a server. If they want to move to management or something, of course you want to create a ladder for them. But the secret to ongoing success, the secret to sort of continual excellence, is great fundamental training and then an ongoing expectation that you'll keep those skills sharp. You'll keep those things, those learned lessons to the forefront, and you reward those people that do that. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you have any questions, again, hit me up in the comments. If you like what you saw, give me a thumbs up. If you loved it, please subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.